art collectors can now get their hands on masterpieces from iconic Filipino artists. Leon Gallery is putting these works on auction, and some of them could fetch into the tens of millions of pesos. Gallery Director Jaime Ponce de Leon joins us now live in the studio to tell us about this magnificent September auction. Hi, Jaime.
Hello, Rico. Thank you for having me here.
So tell us, who are some of these artists that will be showcasing their key artworks in this magnificent auction?
We have a couple of very important pieces in this auction. This auction, I'm very proud to say, is very well curated. So the Anita that we have in the cover of the catalog is from 1957, and this is from the exhibition of Anita where he veered away from egg tempera to fully paint in oil. And,
1957. This is some of the golden years of Anita
years.
Magsaysayho when she was trained in New York.
Correct. So this is, well, a lot of collectors consider this among the very, very best years. And the subject matter...
Is it a blue chip?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is a grail. A grail of
Holy
Anita.
grail of Anita Magsaysayho.
This is a really good piece.
What about the Vicente Maransala?
Okay, the Vicente
one of our
Maransala.
famous national artists from Pampanga.
Yes. This special Manansala came all the way from London, from the collection of Celia Flor Corominas. Remember, there was an actress in the 1960s and 1970s. She was very famous, and she was also known to have collected a lot of very good things. And
An art connoisseur.
And this Manansala, she was also painted by Manansala. And this Manansala is from 1969. If you ask important collectors of Manansala, they will tell you that the best years would be from 69 to 72. This was the peak of the works of Manansala, where you can see the maturity of the transparent cubism.
What about other national artists like H.R. Ocampo and Botong Francisco are also showcased in this auction?
This special H.R. Ocampo, I have been courting for quite some time, perhaps for 10 years already.
So you even have to court the collectors, huh?
Of Senator Kit Tatad. So Senator Kit Tatad and Mrs. Tatad acquired this piece from the late Larry Cruz. Very well documented. It appears in the files of H.R. Ocampo, titled, and it has these special colors that H.R. Ocampo used, especially in the 1950s, in the late 50s.
You know, when you say it came from Kit Tatad, it came from this London collector, provenance is very important.
Absolutely.
When works go on auction.
Absolutely.
But
we maintain not only a very high level of scholarship, but we base everything on documentation, especially on the trail of ownership, which is provenance. And we make sure that all the bases are covered.
But how do you go about sourcing all of these artworks from all over the world?
It's a lot of work, Rico. It's both ways. We maintain contact with all these collectors. We call them, we knock on their doors just to be able to secure this prized pieces.
We're talking about modern artists and older contemporary artists. What about the likes of Elmer Borlongan, Marcos Tignani, national artist Ben Cab? Are their works also featured in this auction?
We have a very good Ben Cab in this sale. A Ben Cab Sabel from 2005 from a very important collection. And it has a beautiful face with a very distinct background color, which is burgundy. Very nice. We have some works by Borlongan, very good ones. 3, although small works. We were not fortunate in this auction to secure big works of Elmer.
But who will bid for these works? Are they both local and international collectors? Because we know local collectors really love to collect our very own, right? We fence them in. And it doesn't really give a chance to the global or international collector to be able to acquire them.
Right. Well, one great thing with all the fairs that has been going on in our country is it creates an international appeal for our homegrown artists. So if you talk about, like, of course, Bencab, there's definitely a regional appeal. Amorsolo, there's even Americans collect Amorsolo. Some Europeans do. Zobel, a lot of Spaniards collect Zobel too. So definitely there's a lot of there's a growing appeal for Philippine art outside the Philippines.
You know, I lived overseas, Jaime, for 25 years. And of course, the major auction houses in Hong Kong, Singapore, New York, or London are the Christie's and the Sotheby's. But when Leon came into the picture, we really now see a lot of these Filipino artworks being showcased in these international auction houses. What is the appeal of a local auction house vis-a-vis an international auction house?
Okay, number one, a collector would always look at results. I think the results in the Philippines are better. There's access for collectors to bid. I mean, they don't have to fly to Hong Kong or to...
They don't have to pay for the freight charges.
Exactly, they don't pay charges. It's cheaper to buy in the Philippines, no need of insurance, should transportation occur after purchase. So these are things that they consider.
And the premiums are more expensive.
Also are much cheaper here. So buying in the Philippines is definitely more attractive. And there's not much to think about, Rico, because there's so much trouble is entailed when not only sellers consign abroad, but when buyers buy abroad.
But of course, Jaime, these works like the Anita Magsaysayhos, the Laolian Bens, the Bencabs, the Botongs, the HRs, do not come cheap. But how is the business these days? Is it booming?
Okay, the collectors today are very discerning. There is a strong demand for quality. So whenever something of great quality comes to the market, you will see a bandwagon of interest. Yeah. So we also try that whenever we have a big auction, we just don't put just any Anita or just any HR Ocampo. We try to put in the very best. That's why we have the online segment, which we do after the big sales, because that's where we put all the lesser important works.
The more reasonably priced
priced works.
So, Jaime, when is this magnificent auction taking place? You have a catalog with you, and it's quite a thick catalog.
Yes, thick catalog.
When is it happening and where?
So the auction will be this Saturday, September 9 at 2 o'clock p.m. at Leon Gallery, Eurovilla 1. And between now and Saturday, the preview happens also at our premises at Eurovilla 1. Everyone's welcome to come. So if there's any work you want to see, please feel free to come. And anybody could ask and examine all the pieces.
And if you want to even just delve into the rich collection of Filipino artworks, one would just even love to visit this magnificent September auction 2023.
Certainly.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for joining us, and good luck with the auction this coming Saturday.
Thank you very much.
Jaime Ponce de Leon of Leon Art Gallery.